I'm experienced now, professional. Jaws been broke, been knocked down a couple times. Bad. Been chopping trees. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Man, dude.
Bad.
He knew that.
Fast.
Boxing is a beautiful sport. Yes, it can be dangerous, intense, and requires so much sacrifice, but I love it. It's like being in a relationship that you know is bad for you, but you just can't walk away. I have been boxing for over 5 years, and I love the fact that this sport requires for you to be focused and full of ambition to be the best there is. When I step into that ring and see the other guy in front of me, the only thing that I can think of is me telling myself that I worked hard for this. Remember all the sweat, pain, and sacrifice that it took me to get there. And I just simply ask God to protect me. In ancient time, this sport was created by the lower class people, but there was no such thing as fighting for fame, money, or championships. No, people would do it for honor, pride, and it was all basically a test to show which male had the most endurance, speed, strength, and guts to stand toe to toe with another man. The loser would signify his loss by simply raising one finger into the air. Over time, this sport became more known and gained rapid popularity by the 18th century, when James Figg decided to open a boxing school, adding a few rules for the safety of fighters. And so later on, it was decided for it to be turned into an official, actual sport, and it was called bare knuckle boxing. And this is how boxing became more known and gained popularity, not only for the lower class people, but also the rich people. Bare knuckle boxing started to take place anywhere in the streets. Men would just call out any other men and challenge them. We had great champions back in the day of bare knuckle boxing. But once it all came to an end, the last bare knuckle boxing match was held in the deep woods of Mississippi, where John L. Sullivan fought against Jake Kilrain for the heavyweight championship. They fought for a total of 75 rounds, which was 2 hours and 16 minutes. During the fight, there was 36 knockouts and many takedowns. But due to all the hits, the fighters would drink whiskey or alcohol in between rounds so they couldn't feel any pain. John L. Sullivan won that fight that will always be remembered as one of the most brutal and longest bare knuckle boxing match in history. People decided that the sport was really dangerous and decided to add some rules that could protect the participants' health. 15 rounds were made, and each one could be 13 minutes max, so it could be decided how long the fight could go on for. Boxers started to wrap their hands with hand wraps in order to protect their hands, knuckles, and to prevent their wrists from breaking by landing a bad punch. And they also had to wear gloves for their matches so that way their faces couldn't get bruised as much. Boxing was now at a golden age. It would be broadcasted in radio shows, TVs, and famous arenas like Madison Square Garden. This is when boxers started to gain rapid popularity, money, and fame for participating in the sport But as time went by, people started to realize that it was still a really dangerous sport, and fighters could retire with Parkinson. And it was decided that the rounds should be lowered to 12 rounds. Physicals needed to be more strictly enforced, boxers had to wear protective cups, and every fighter had to go through inspections with their wraps, gloves, and attire. This change was not just for professional boxers, but also for amateur boxers, who had to wear a protective headgear at all times until they turned into a professional. Boxing has been around for centuries, from ancient Greek times until today's modern day. It continues to improve every day as a new era of fighters come up, new talents are discovered, and skills that are found within each and every fighter that steps inside the ring. Although it can have many risks to it, it also has a rich background history that can inspire people from every generation to be able to see that they can achieve anything in life and there is always a beginning to everything.